Hi guys, I'm Arnel, and today we're going to look at like, likely, liken, alike, dislike, unlike, unlikely, and likelihood. So all of these words have the word like in them. What's the difference? Or what's the same? Here's the plan. As you can see, we're going to look at like the longest. We're going to look at like in terms of like and similar. Yes, like can have a lot of different uses, but today we only need to know these two if we are comparing the word like to these other words. And yes, we're going to look at unlike 2 times. Like, don't like. I like ice cream. I don't like ice cream. I like him. I don't like him. If I have an appointment, I usually like to arrive 10 minutes early. I don't like to be late. Michelle likes going to the gym. Michelle doesn't like going to the gym. After like, we can have noun, pronoun, infinitive, or gerund. Infinitive is that to plus base verb, and gerund is that ing form in this case. Let's do a few more examples. Most people like animals. Most people don't like spiders. Like plus noun. Oh, those are beautiful. Jane will definitely like them. Jane will not like them. Like plus pronoun. One of my colleagues likes to put her pens in a line on her desk. She doesn't like to share her pens. My husband and I like ordering pizza once a week. My husband and I don't like spending more than $20 on pizza. That's too much. Be careful of this common mistake. I like to ordering. I like order. Remember, you have 2 possibilities, the infinitive or gerund. Infinitive or gerund. Is there a difference between I like ordering and I like to order? Normally, no. Use them both freely. Michelle likes going to the gym. Michelle likes to go to the gym. Same thing. My husband and I like ordering pizza. My husband and I like to order pizza. Same thing. But sometimes there can be a difference. Like plus gerund is something you enjoy. Like plus infinitive, this is a preference, a habit. I like drinking coffee early in the morning. I can look out my window and watch the sunrise. I like to carry a couple of power banks with me whenever I travel. I do not want my phone to run out of battery. In the first example, I enjoy drinking coffee early in the morning. This is nice. In the second, this is something good to do. It's not necessarily about happiness. I mean, you would never see someone do this. Yeah! I have 2 power banks. I have the power of power banks. I know it's weird, but I like cleaning. I like having a clean house. Whenever I clean my house, I like to clean the bathrooms first. I can get them out of the way. First one is enjoy. Second, it's a habit or a preference. Do people really like cleaning toilets? Okay, great. So I want you to know, don't worry about using the gerund or the infinitive. Many native speakers, most native speakers, use them interchangeably. But sometimes it's good to know that there can be a difference in feeling. Okay. We've looked at like, don't like. Let's add dislike. My parents don't like my new tattoo. My parents dislike my new tattoo. Is there a difference? Generally, dislike is stronger and it's more formal. We'll look at another example. Here I have some soup. I don't like the soup. I dislike this soup. The first one is a lot more natural. Don't like is very common day to day. Dislike is too strong in this situation. I mean, it's just soup. Who really dislikes soup? I dislike the way Adam speaks to people. He's very rude. I dislike it. I dislike how the character in the book goes from good to evil. Why? Emily seems to express her dislike for absolutely anything that isn't her idea. Here, dislike is a noun. And you can see in these examples, dislike gives you that stronger feeling. Of course, you could use don't like, but I hope you can feel that little difference. Shh, I'm looking at my boss's Instagram. Oh no. I accidentally liked his picture, but then I quickly unliked it. Have you ever done this? When it comes to social media, we can like a picture or a video. We can unlike, which means remove your like. We can like, unlike, and we can dislike something. This video has 200 likes and 10 dislikes. Here I have the nouns. Let's keep going. Verb plus like. This means similar. What is a nectarine? A nectarine is like a peach, but it's not fuzzy. You can see these two fruits are similar, but they're not the same. Normally we use a sense verb with like. By sense verb, I mean smells like, looks like, sounds like, tastes like, feels like. This soap smells like roses. It's very similar. It's beautiful. You look like your mom. You're very similar. If I want to say same, I can add just or exactly. You look just like your mom. You look exactly like your mom. The interview felt like an interrogation. They were very similar. You sound like you're sick. Are you okay? I love bubble tea. What does it taste like? Oh, it is very sweet and milky. It is like a dessert. We can see the verb, in this case a sense verb, plus like. You can have a noun. You could also use a pronoun or a clause, subject, verb. And here I'm using sense verbs, but actually you could use any verb. I mean, my boyfriend, he dances like he's celebrating. Mini review. I like, I don't like, I dislike. You can like a post, you can unlike a post, you can dislike a post. Verb plus like, similar. Similar, similar. What else can we use? We can use alike. Is alike formal or informal? It's neutral. You can use it in your writing or when you're speaking. Are Liz and Emily sisters? Because they look alike. Look at these answers. They're alike, aren't they? I think Alex and Lauren copied each other's work. Let's compare this to an earlier structure. Look like. Are they sisters? They look alike. You could say they look like sisters. What's the difference? They mean the same thing. The grammar is just a little bit different. Verb like something or verb alike. I don't really care what kind of phone I have. They're all alike. In my opinion, they're all similar. Okay, when alike is an adjective, don't put it before a noun. You can't say, oh, these are alike songs. These songs are alike, or these songs sound alike. Alike can also be used to mean two groups equally in the same way. Children and grown-ups alike love hot chocolate. Both children and grown-ups like hot chocolate. Two groups, they have the same opinion. Grown-ups is another way to say adults. The novel was well received by critics and readers alike. Both critics and readers, two groups, liked the novel. Okay, let's look at one special expression using alike. Great minds think alike. We use the expression when two people have the same idea, and it's a bit surprising. You're kind of saying, we're both geniuses. You bought Jackie a stationery set for her birthday? So did I. That's funny, great minds think alike. This expression, it's informal, we're not being serious, it's very fun. So we've looked at a couple of ways to describe similarities. You look like your mom, you and your mom look alike. In my opinion, we can liken grammar to math because there are many ways to say the same thing. Liken. What's liken? Liken is a verb, a regular verb. Liken, likened, likened. You liken someone or something to someone or something. When we use liken, we're comparing two things. Getting a tattoo is often likened to being stung by 1,000 bees. It's so painful. Here I'm comparing getting a tattoo, getting stung by bees, because they're similar. Why am I not saying getting a tattoo is likened to be stung? To plus infinitive, right? In this case, to is a preposition, and we need that object. We need a gerund. Sometimes to is part of the verb. For example, I need to go. In this case, the ing form is a gerund because it's following the preposition to. Does Suzanne like her new job? Well, she likens her boss to a giant cockroach. So I don't think so. She compares her boss to a cockroach because they're so similar. The age of the internet can be likened to the Industrial Revolution. It has changed the world forever. In all of these examples, we're comparing two things because they're so similar. They're similar, but what if things are different? What can we use? We can use unlike. Unlike is a preposition, so we need that object. We mean this is different. Unlike you, I'm not good with computers. There's a contrast. You are good with computers, I'm not. Unlike many languages, English words are often not pronounced the way they are spelled. You know that. For example, R-O-U-G-H is pronounced rough, but if you add TH, it's pronounced through. I'm not good with computers, unlike you. English words are often not pronounced the same way they are spelled, unlike many languages. Unlike is often used with any or anything, and here we're trying to show a really big contrast. My trip to Borneo was unlike anything I had ever experienced. It was so completely different. You've been to a couple of Cirque du Soleil performances, haven't you? Yeah, I think I've seen 3. Because I was thinking about getting my wife tickets for her birthday. That is such a good idea. Cirque du Soleil is unlike any other show on earth. The dancers, the performers, the music, the costumes, everything is spectacular. Very different. Last structure with unlike. Unlike someone, infinitive, to infinitive. Imagine you're waiting for your friend. She's 5 minutes late, no message. She's 10 minutes late, no message. After 20 minutes, you start to get worried. It's unlike Christina to be late. She's normally very punctual. We can use unlike someone too when a person does something that's out of character. It's not normal for them. What's wrong with me? It's unlike me to have no motivation. I don't feel like doing anything. This is out of character for me. Whew, there's been a lot of information. Let's do another review. Like, don't like, dislike. Like, unlike, dislike. Verb plus like, similar. This kitchen smells like heaven. Verb plus alike, similar. You and your dad sound alike on the phone. Alike, two groups equally. Tennis is popular with men and women alike. Liken, you compare two things because they are similar. He likened my singing to a dying cat. I was really insulted. Unlike, different. Unlike or unlike any. Unlike Gareth, I'm not interested in getting a promotion. Unlike someone too. It's unlike Hoko to miss class. I hope she's okay. Let's keep going. Okay, here we have likely and unlikely. We use likely to speak about something that's very probable. We are not 100% sure this is going to happen, but we have a strong feeling about this. I know Carol is looking for a new job. I think it's likely that she won't be here in a couple of months. It seems likely that schools will be closed for another few months. Look at that grammar. Likely that will. Likely that will. We often use will because we're speaking about the future. We're predicting something. Yes, we can use the same grammar with unlikely. I know Carol is looking for a new job. It's unlikely that she will find one anytime soon. It seems unlikely that schools will open. I think they'll be closed for another 6 months. If you notice a difference in the lighting, I had to quickly change the battery. I ran out of battery. Okay, let's keep going with likely and unlikely. You had your job interview this morning? It's highly unlikely you'll get a response today. We often use highly, very, extremely with likely or unlikely to give it a little bit more emphasis. It's highly unlikely. Okay, we've looked at likely, unlikely, that will. Here's another very common structure. Likely to. Are you likely to take the IELTS exam this year? Just to warn you, the client is likely to turn down our offer. Dad said no. He's unlikely to change his mind. Unlikely plus that to infinitive. Okay, I have one word for you. Yearbook. Cultural note. In the US, whenever a school year ends, you can buy a yearbook. A yearbook is just full of all the students from the school and big events throughout the year. There's always a fun section of specific students. These students were voted for by other students. For example, most popular, Hannah Gilbert's. Most athletic, Stephen Hunter. And there was usually a most likely section. Most likely to succeed, Dave Peters. Most likely to get into Harvard, Teresa Wilson. Most likely to win an Olympic gold medal, Chris Bailey-Todd. You can see in all of these examples, we are talking about what we think is very possible in the future. So let me know in the comments below if you have yearbooks in your country. Are they popular? Likely, unlikely. Is there a noun form? Of course. And I think maybe you already know what it is. Likelihood. Likelihood is the noun we can use. And to make this a little bit easier, let's bring up an earlier example. Are you likely to take the IELTS exam this year? Remember this one? What is the likelihood of you taking the IELTS exam this year? Using the noun gives me the option of asking, likely? Unlikely? Eating fatty foods increases the likelihood of a heart attack. Wearing sunscreen on a regular basis helps to decrease the likelihood of getting skin cancer. Likelihood is a formal word, so we often hear it used to describe health or in the news about statistics. There is little likelihood that the crime rate will fall in the upcoming year. There's a very little chance. The likelihood of something, the likelihood that. Let's do a couple more examples. And often you'll see and hear likelihood used with every, any, and little. There is every likelihood that this branch will double in size by the end of the year. A very big chance. Seismologists say there is little likelihood of a second earthquake. At no time was there any likelihood that the child was in danger. You might see this last example on a police report, for example. You know, in English, if you really want to improve your vocabulary, try to look at things in chunks. You want to learn phrases, just like this next one, in all likelihood. This means very probable. I know you can't stand Oscar, but in all likelihood, he was telling the truth. This scandal is going to cause an outrage, and in all likelihood, numerous people are going to lose their jobs. In all likelihood, the after-school childcare program will close. There aren't enough people attending. Wow, amazing. There was a lot of information in today's lesson. You know what? Give me an example down below. Try to practice some of these words. I really enjoyed making this for you, and I can't wait to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.